OnyxEarth Tarot. Everything you need to know about me is in the description box below. So I am back with another pick a card reading. This one's gonna be a career reading. There were a couple of people that were asking for it, and I was like, you know what, we're just gonna do it and skip the poll because let's be honest, it was never going to win the poll. And that's okay, that's okay. It's just certain readings don't get much traction, but there are people that want them and I enjoy doing them, so we're gonna put them on the channel anyway. I don't have anything else, so we'll get right into it. We've got pile 1, which is the Lapis Lazuli. We've got pile 2, which is the Black Tourmaline, and we've got pile 3, which is the Tiger's Eye. I'll give you a moment to select your pile. If you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. All right, pile 1, if you selected this Lapis Lazuli, then this is your reading. Okay, so we're gonna start with the tarot and then we're gonna hop into a couple of oracle decks. This one may not be long. It may not be as long as my normal readings. I forgot to mention that in the intro, but I don't think it's gonna take as much time just because I honestly don't have as many decks, and we'll see. Okay, I've got 2 jumping out, and the first one that has revealed itself is Temperance. So whatever you're asking about as it relates to your career, pile 1, it's requiring a lot of patience as you grow, as you develop, as you expand your knowledge and your skills. The Temperance card, it represents alchemy, transmutation, taking something and turning it into something completely new. So if there's some type of development, if there's some type of skills you need to learn, some skills you need to acquire, some things you need to learn, just bear with yourself as you acquire these skills, right? And then you've got the 6 of Cups, which is it's past energy. It is familiar energy. It's something that is or should be familiar to you in some way. But the reason why I'm still holding it up is because if you look in this particular deck, it's a show that's occurring, right? That there's a play. It's like constantly feeling under observation, right? Maybe you're dealing with a micromanager. Maybe you are a micromanager. But it just feels like you believe that you're constantly under surveillance, constantly being watched, ridiculed, nitpicked, as you say, right? And then you have in the show, you've got what I'm just now realizing in all of the years I've had this deck. It looks like kind of a angel devil, like, you know how you have the angel on one shoulder, the devil on the other. I didn't realize that that was the show that was occurring, but you do. You've got the angel and the devil. So it's like coinciding with that Temperance card. It's like you have there may be issues with integrity in your current situation that make you uncomfortable, and I only say that because Temperance is all about moderation and moderating, and then having that good and evil aspect coming in as well. It's making me feel like either you're in a situation that's a bit sketchy, you're possibly about to enter a situation that may be sketchy, or you're going to have to stand your ground as it relates to your morals in some form. I'm also getting, that was that pause, I'm getting that you're going to have to really use your judgment in this role that you're in or stepping into that's coming in next. I'm talking about it like it's present. Some of you it may be present, but it feels like, again, especially as we talk about development, what's next may be development in this position, development in this role, whatever that is, whatever that situation, the circumstances are. But again, incoming energy, it just feels like you're going to need to really know how to utilize your judgment, know right from wrong, what is right for you, what is wrong for you, what is right for others around you that you work with, you know, things of that nature. But it's something about taking past knowledge and transmuting it so that you're comfortable in whatever situation you're stepping into with that Temperance card. So let me get another card. Actually, I got 2. One sticking out right here, and we're going to take it. But first, I want to talk about this Death card. So again, transmutation, transformation, whatever situation you're currently in, that you need to evolve in, Power One, or some of you, it's a situation that's coming into. It's going to require patience as you bear with yourself. It's going to require patience with you. It's going to require patience with the people around you, patience with the situation, the circumstances. Not that it's bad, it's just developmental, right? That's the key themes for you as it relates to the next steps in your career development. And growing and changing and evolving in that role, right? Because I want to go back to Temperance, that is ruled by Sagittarius and Jupiter. That being the first card to come out shows that you're definitely, even though that card rules like moderation to some degree, we talked about the transmutation aspect of it. It's about expansion. It's ninth house energy. It is traveling. It is higher education. It's what you need to take that next step in your career. It's what you need to elevate in whatever field you're interested in or looking to evolve in, right? But now that we have the death card on the table, 8th house energy, it's all about inheritance. That energy, that is Scorpio 8th house energy, that is inheritance. So maybe this moderating, this micromanaging, this right, wrong, sketchy energy, some of you it is sketchy energy, others of you it's not necessarily sketchy, it's just having to use discernment a little more than you probably should need to, right? You should be able to just kind of trust the situation you're in. You're not having that luxury, or not going to have that luxury. You're going to have to be a lot more quick with it in the circumstances you're stepping into. And I know it doesn't seem completely positive, but I promise you it is. We're talking about development and we're talking about growing, but inheriting a situation that is going to transform. And I do see it transforming for the better. Whatever past energy is still lingering or will be lingering at the time you step into the next phase of your career, you're stepping in to transmute that energy, right? Look at the two ends, those two major arcana. You're stepping in to transmute that energy. And I do see you being very successful at it. It's just might be some growing pain. So what is this card? 10 of Swords. Yeah, so like I said, I could possibly see you either currently or in the near future feeling a bit overwhelmed with your current situation as it relates to employment, job. Maybe you are unemployed, looking for a job, discontent with the current job you're in, not sure where you're going, or unfortunately some of you are about to step into this energy. Don't overreact, or stop overreacting, because that 10 of Swords is like the worst is behind you. It's like as bad as things can get, it's already happened. You can't get any lower than the 10 of Swords. It's rock bottom, and the only place you can go is up. So if you're having growing pains currently, or when you step into the next phase of your career, it's rocky at the beginning, just know that that beginning of it, even if that's present for you, that beginning is as hard as it's going to get. It's not going to get any more difficult. It's only going to rise from there. And I say that because at the bottom of the deck, you have the 8 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords is all about holding yourself back. And in this particular deck, it's like a person literally throwing themselves out of the window onto cars, like onto sorry, I cannot speak, swords, right? It's like you're just gonna ready to just kill over, throw yourself out, like fall on the sword yourself. Don't self-sabotage in that way, right? It's almost like you feel like you're in a situation you can't win, so you're like just gonna throw yourself on the dagger anyway. Don't do that. And also don't allow yourself to stagnate, because 8 of Swords is also stagnation energy. Don't allow yourself to fall into that rut. Push past whatever energy you're in, so that you can transmute into that Sagittarius energy, that Temperance card. So we're gonna go right into the Oracle decks, and I promise you, Pile One, I know this is a very serious pile, but I don't want you to overreact, because your pile already is telling you not to, and you probably already haven't. But I promise you, this is not negative energy. That 6 of Cups, it's showing that there's baggage that has nothing to do with you already there by the book. And if there's some issues with ethics, with not morality, but the morals, that right and wrong, you just do what you need to do. Okay? You just do what you need to do. You do everything by the book, right? You follow the rules. Everyone else doesn't have to. You just make sure that you do it. You follow the accurate steps and procedures. You do what you need to do to be successful in this position. Because again, even if it's sketchy, because some of you, it's a really sketchy situation, I'm not gonna lie, you will be fine as long as you do what you need to do and just, I don't want to say turn a blind eye, but just mind your business. It has nothing to do with you. So let's see what else I can get. But I'm not gonna lie, I promise you, this is a promising situation, Pile 1. Like, this is a good situation, even though it doesn't feel like it. And those of that small subset of you where it may be so bad that you probably do need to remove yourself, just do what you have to do by the book. Like, you make sure you cross your T's, dot your I's, and just don't stagnate in that negative energy that seems to be surrounding the situation. But most of you, it's just growing pains, and we need to allow that Six of Cups energy to heal, transmute, and be released. Like, if there's toxic people around you, Pile 1, they won't be there much longer. They're not going to be able to survive in the shift that is happening at your current place of employment. What did I just say? I promise you, look, this is the universe confirming that you are safe and that you are going to be fine. Like I said, that small subset of you where you know that there's no way, that this is not a safe space for you, do everything you need to do by the book and don't stagnate there. Do what you need to do to remove yourself. But look, you got blessed. Okay, most of you here, this is a good situation. You're blessed. And look, you got 11 followed by 22. You are supported. Like, those, like, it's like master numbers, but I know people talk about angel numbers now, but it's just showing that you are divinely guided to the situation and you are divinely protected in it. So there's nothing that anyone can really take away from you as it relates to your goal. So don't worry about the situation. And if you have been released from your job, if you've been let go, fired, furloughed, whatever the term is that applies to you, it was for the best, right? By the book, blessed. Whatever happened, it was for the best. Don't stagnate. It's time to move on and look forward to the future, right? I'm gonna see if I can develop that energy of those of you that are currently unemployed, that may have either quit a toxic work environment or got fired due to some sketchy stuff. I don't quite have that fully developed yet, but those of you that this has happened to, just make sure you file your proper paperwork, follow the proper procedures. If you were wrongfully terminated, you know, there's definitely signs here that you should follow the appropriate paperwork, making sure that that's I can't talk. Honestly, my day is over, y'all. Like, I can't even think. But basically, like, you know, if you need to sue, do whatever you got to do. Just make sure you do everything by the book. Cross your T's, dot your I's, those types of things. But you do have some things, some blessings coming in. All of you, Pile 1, blessings are coming in. Follow things by the book, and then the blessings will follow. And then Y is at the bottom. I'm not going to take these cards, but this is a message coming through. Y is at the bottom. Observer is at the middle. And if you're asking why you're experiencing hardships, whatever those hardships may be of all of the things that I've listed, it's because somebody's watching you way too closely. They're all up in your business. They're watching you much more than they should be. And again, it feels like a bit of a sketchy situation for some of you, or at least a micromanaged situation. So if you're being micromanaged, obviously everything you're doing is wrong. And if it's a sketchy situation, then maybe you were doing something you shouldn't have been doing, or maybe you didn't know, whatever. But the reality is you got caught or are getting caught. So just be mindful of that. Make sure you do what you know you should be doing. Let's see. Never ending story, round and round. Okay, so we're getting some good stuff. I'm like trying to see what's going on next in your career. And I'm gonna like try to like, after I finish with these cards, I got 2 cards on the table that just let me know, especially with that 6 of Bear with me while I adjust this table. Yeah, that's good enough. So those of you, all of you, you are in this darn Y card. Made its way to the bottom. This isn't feeling as much like a career reading as much as that why, right? That explanation. So Power One, if you feel like you constantly find yourself in the exact same situation as it relates to career, life, like you feel like you're always, it doesn't matter where you go, what people are surrounding you, you're always experiencing the same drama or the same complications, the same issue, the same lesson. The reason is because like that never ending and round, this is a cycle that you have yet to complete. I hate to say it like that, but the reality is there's something that you're missing every time you live in this energy that you haven't cleared. You need to clear it, right? That Six of Cups, that's your past following you. And with that Six of Cups being followed by the Death card, it's like now it's time to dead it. Literally, it's time to kill that energy. It's time to evolve, transmuting that Temperance energy, right? 10 of Swords, rock bottom. You've stagnated in that 8 of Swords. It is time to stop going round and round in that same cycle. If you by the book is also stagnating energy. It's wanting to follow a consistent routine, not deviating in any way, very fixed energy. So just know that you have a blessing coming as soon as you complete this cycle. Okay? This cycle can be the last of that never-ending story. Okay, I promise you it can be, but just do what you need to do. Whatever you were doing, whatever energy you've been in, every time you've encountered people like you're encountering, every time you find yourself in a situation like the one you're in, you have to behave differently from the last time and the time before that and the time before that you encountered this energy. You do not get to, I mean, you do get to, you're just going to stay in the cycle. You can't keep behaving the same in that situation and expecting different results, right? That is the definition of insanity. So just make sure you're evolving with each cycle, right? With each round, with each lesson, with each experience, because that's what's limiting you in your career. That's what's limiting your contentment with your career, is you constantly behaving the same in situations or having that same energy that you're aligned with in each situation you move to, right? So just watch that. But I do see that you're in this role, this current position, or the one that you're stepping into, to evolve, to grow on a soul level, but also that growth will 100% advance your career. Like you don't even realize. So let me pull from this other deck. Yeah, I really don't think these are going to be as long. I know we're talking about what's next in your career. A lot of you, this feels like current energy, Power One. I'm not going to lie. Or near future energy. Like I said, if we're talking about near future energy, if this is not you, like this contentment may be you, I'm making sure that you know that if you're about to step into a new situation or you're thinking about moving jobs or whatever, if you haven't already, this energy will follow you. And that's that growing pain. It's going to feel eerily similar to where you just left if you're thinking about moving on. It will at the beginning, because you're there to transmute your energy. You're there to transmute the situation and to grow and to evolve and to develop, right? Now, if you're just stepping into this energy, like if you've recently started a new job or it's just new energy for you, you're there to develop, right? Even if it feels like the same old, or it's not what you expected, you're there to develop, just like we talked about at the beginning of this reading. So now this first card from this deck is Mercury. Think, learn, network, communicate. And this is a huge card to come here, because it's the why, right? The why, the explanation as to why you're experiencing or will be experiencing or have been experiencing what you've experienced in your career, the delays, the stagnation, the complete chaos surrounding you. That Mercury energy is here to talk about what we just discussed, development, right? You're there to learn, to think differently, to behave differently, to interact with other people differently, right? It's all about your relationships with your co-workers, your colleagues, your relationship with yourself, how you treat yourself in the workplace, your relationship with your career, your relationship with work, right? Balance, work-life balance, those types of things. That's what you're there to, or will be stepping into, that energy of being there to work on. Okay? Because we're talking about the why. Your career reading is not what's next in your career. Your career reading is you need to finish developing, right? That's what you need to focus on, Power One. So yeah, definitely. I'm not done. I know it sounds like I'm done. This is my wrap up tone, I know, but I'm not done. I actually have another deck after this one. I want to pull 2 more from this one. But again, we're talking about that why. Yeah, issues with communication plague you. But that's okay, because this situation is going to teach you how to be better at that. All kinds of cards wanted to come, but I did get one successfully. Saturn. Now, this is interesting because Saturn rules Capricorn, which rules the 10th house of social status and career. So interesting, you in the career reading get the planet that rules that, right? But Saturn also rules hard work and such, right? It says feel restricted, experience struggle, learn hard work and patience. Again, we talk about holding yourself back. We talk about stagnating. Saturn embodies that energy. It's a shadow aspect of Saturn being stuck, being very fixed in an energy, right? By the book, 8 of Swords. But it's also teaching you hard work. Like you need to kind of put your head down and just do what you have to do and develop, because no, it's not going to be easy. No, it's not going to be like that, you know, light-weighted energy, but you have the blessed card on the table, right? You have blessed on the table. So you're going to learn how to think smarter. You're going to learn how to work as hard as you need to. I don't want you to feel like it's going to be super hard. I don't want you to feel like you're going to have to run yourself into the ground, because that's actually the opposite of what Saturn means besides Mercury. That is the epitome of work smarter, not harder. Okay, Mercury and Saturn, that's a conjunction on your table right now. You may have that in your chart. You may be experiencing that transit. So let's see if I can pull another card. And you've got Uranus. And what did we talk about? You've got death, you've got temperance of transmutation, and now you have radically change. You are going to change for the better in this situation. You're going to develop. You're going to be even stronger, even smarter. You just have to be what the bottom of the deck says, mutable. You have to be adaptive, right? Surrender, fluidity, and a welcoming change. You just have to adapt and assimilate into the situation that you are in or are stepping into. I'm trying to find a place for these cards. It's interesting because the deck that I'm using is large and I haven't used it in a while. So the cards I've been using are really small, so they don't take as much space. But yes, you are really going to have to learn to be flexible. You may be a Virgo. I'm not going to lie, because you have Mercury on a table, and that rules, like, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, as is Gemini. So you could be Gemini or Virgo or have prominent placements. But that said, outside of those mutable signs of Sagittarius, which is also on the table twice, you could be that. And then you have, is that Pisces? That is definitely Pisces. So you could also be a Pisces, but Capricorn, Aquarius. So those are all of the ones that are on the table for those of you that really like to have astrology included. You have Scorpio underneath with the death card, as I mentioned as well. So let me pull from Spirit de la Lune. Maybe it will give advice, because the way that this deck is designed, it's not really going to give anything else. Okay, so waning crescent, rest. Okay, so if this is a new situation, slow down. Don't hold yourself back, but just slow down. Take a second, right? Take a second. If it's overwhelming, just take a second. Make sure you're taking your proper off days. Make sure you, if you have the vacation time, maybe use a day, just take some time, regroup. Don't overreact to the situation. If you are currently unemployed for whatever reason, this is a time for you to reflect and rest. That's why you have Six of Cups. It's a time for you to kind of sit down, evaluate your actions, evaluate your behaviors, evaluate this whole situation that happened in the role, and be accountable for your role in it, however it played, why ever you're unemployed, whatever the reason is, right? But never ending story and round, it's just for you to kind of sit down, rest, think about it, but not so much that you cause anxiety, right? Because at the end of the day, you do have to release it and move on to the next situation. Yes. Let's see. I'm going to pull 2 more and take the bottom, and then we're going to close it out. And in my hand, I've got Create. Let me put this down. So I've got Waxing Crescent, Create. I've got Waxing Crescent, Expansion. So we've got Rest, right? I guess that's just to get you together. Then you're going to create, and then you're going to expand, right? Lots of expansion energy because you've got a lot of Sagittarius on the table, okay? And then you've got Aries, which is the Inspirer. So if you're in a situation that's not quite the best, that has some healing to do from past, like people around that are traumatized, just processes that are outdated, you're stepping into that situation to bring this whole energy of that experience forward, okay? That is what's next for you. You're going to step into a situation, if you haven't already, where you are meant to lead and inspire, and you're meant to be creative, and you're meant to expand and develop in your own right. So you're going to grow and develop and prepare yourself for the next phase of your career. But at the same time, you're going to develop other people, other situations for the better. So the situation you're in or stepping into at the end of that cycle, your impact will still be there with never-ending story, round and round, blessed. You'll be blessed because you've blessed others. You've made the situation a lot better than it used to be, okay? So I think I'm going to wrap it up here. That is all I have for you today, Pile 1. If this resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, Pile 2, if you selected this black tourmaline crystal, then this is your reading. So we're going to start with the tarot deck, and then we're going to look at 3 oracle cards. Not cards, but 3 different decks, 3 different types of cards, to see what's next in your career, or whatever you need to know as it relates to your career, because pile 1 was a bit different from what I expected it to be. So let's see what's next in your career. This may not be as long. I don't feel like pile 1 was as long as it normally is. It might be a little bit shorter. Just depends on what we have to discuss, all right? And just like that, you've got the Hanged Man. Okay. What it makes me feel like is you have control issues, pile 2. Like you're wanting to control the situation. You're wanting to control every aspect of your career. When you take the next step, when you get promoted, where you go specifically, what types of things fall under your role. You don't get to be that nitpicky. You have to be a bit flexible, okay? You have to kind of let go and let God, right? You have to trust that the universe is going to take you exactly where you need to be, and that what you want may not necessarily be what will fulfill you. Remember that. That is very crucial, and it may come up as I continue to pull cards, but right now you just have to kind of go with the flow and trust that you're being taken where you need to be, especially if you're in transition, if you're not quite sure, especially if there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding your career and your job and your work. If there's a lot of uncertainty, you just have to trust and have blind faith. That's what you're being called. And there's another card that's sticking out. I'm going to take 2 of Pentacles, right? And the 2 of Pentacles talks about juggling, right? Not just because of the imagery, but because it's about balance, being able to handle multiple situations at once. If you're the type of person that wants to focus on one, 2, 3 things, like you have 3 tasks, you want to do them each separately, this career that you're stepping into is going to require you to be able to multitask. task. You don't get to be able to be that in control. It's a chaotic world. It's not a bad world. It's just a chaotic world. You have to be able to handle multiple things at a time, and you may have to move at a bit of a more fast pace than you like to, right? With the Hanged Man being someone that is kind of just hanging there as the chaos ensues. Not saying that you're not being productive. It's just you would much rather be a bit more organized than the world you're stepping into. And the Emperor. So you could be stepping into a leadership role. So congratulations on your promotion, Pal 2. It's definitely going to be more money coming in for you with that Emperor card, because as we're talking about career, you just know that if you're in transition, there's some things being juggled, things falling into play. You're going to be fine. You're going to step into a role that would be considered a promotion to you. Not necessarily leadership, but it's going to have a leadership feel to it if it isn't a direct leadership role. Okay? That's what's coming in for you, Pal 2. So that's exciting, you know, to see directly that you're going to get a promotion. But again, you just have to be able to handle multiple situations at a time, multiple people at a time, multiple personality types at a time. Okay? That's what's coming in. What is next? Oh, yes. This is like, Pal 2, you are about to experience the ultimate blessing, the ultimate glow up as it relates. Like I said, you just got to be able to handle all of the stuff that's being thrown at you. But leadership role, right? The Emperor, the Star. Right now on the table we have, I cannot remember what the Hangman is. I feel like it may be Pisces, but I know for a fact that the Emperor is Aries and the Star is Aquarius. And like, you're going to be very successful. You're going to see success very quickly in the next step in your career. Like the next phase, like I'm seeing like Pal 1, we talked about something that you were already in, or like the person was already in, or Pal 1 was stepping into near future. I'm telling you now, you're going to see success. Once you learn how to, you know, juggle the coins. Once you learn how to juggle the coins, right? And be very stable and be able to handle whatever's thrown at you, right? Juggle multiple situations at a time in chaos. Just know that you're going to be the Emperor and the Star. Now, there's another card sticking out, so I'm going to take that before the bottom deck. Look at this. This isn't even teamwork. This is family. Okay, that's the Three of Cups. So whatever team you're going to be on, or that you know, maybe stepped into, that you're just trying to see Pal 2, know that this is a family. This isn't a, like, and I know that we talk about how toxic that can be when workplaces say that, but I'm telling you, these are people that you genuinely like outside of work. These are people that you love, people that you want to spend time with outside of work and everything, okay? And at the bottom of the deck, 10 of Pentacles. So listen, Pal 2, don't forget to tip me. Do not forget to tip me. I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying, like, you got the career reading and you're experiencing the best glow up light, right? Like, you've got the Emperor, the Star, everybody likes you, you like everybody. And then you're going to be making so much money you can support a family. So listen, don't forget to tip me. No. But you're gonna be in the money. Like, you're gonna be in the money, okay? With that star power, and you're going to get lots of attention, lots of recognition for all of your efforts. It's just that in the beginning, that Hangman, right? You got the Hangman and the Two of Pentacles, and it's like, don't fumble the bag early. That's all. Don't fumble the bag early. Learn how to multitask. Even if you think you know how to multitask, you're not as good at it as you think you are, because I can see with the Hangman and the Two of Pentacles, that just shows me that you're going to be, if you're not already, very overwhelmed in the beginning, just because it's so much going on around you at one time. Okay, so let me jump right in. I mean, a promotion coming in, lots of money coming in, recognition, good people. The job itself is going to be fun. It's chaotic, but part of the chaos is the fun. Okay, like, it's very loud environment. I can see for you, Pal 2. Very loud environment, but fun, right? Like, look at the Three of Cups, right? Before I pull from this deck, look at the Three of Cups. It's like They're being devoured, but they don't care. Like, it's a hard life out here. The job is chaotic, but you know what? We're in chaos together. We love each other. That's the energy of your workplace. So I love that. That's nice. I mean, the chaos, may not be the best, but maybe uncomfortable, but at least you're all in it together, right? So let's see. I'm sorry I'm shaking the camera. I'm trying to get this deck together. Let's see what these oracle cards have to say about what's next in your career for you, Pile 2. Because it feels good. It just feels like once you have to calm your anxiety. And once you get past that anxiety and the nerves, you're going to excel, right? Time to go. So I don't know what happened, but I do see a door. So if you are contemplating a career change, maybe, right? If this may be the energy coming in following this for some of you, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit confused by this time to go card, so I'm gonna pull another one, which I see one sticking out. I'm gonna take just to see what's going on. Like, what is it time to go? No place like home. Ooh, that's interesting. Let me tell you why. Wherever you've been called to go, right? Like, if you've been looking for a job in a very specific location, like you were called to a very specific place to like, maybe you're moving back home, maybe there's a city that's just on your heart, whatever that place is, that is where you need to go. That is where you're going to experience this glow up, this Emperor star energy, that money that is the 10 of Pentacles, wherever it is in your heart, wherever you consider home. Like I said, it doesn't have to be your home. It could be anything, honestly, because home depends on the person, right? I don't consider it necessarily a place so much as an experience. So there may be a place that you experienced at some point in time that you're like, I love that place. I would love to live there. I would love to live there again, right? That's what's going to happen for you. Okay, fork in the road. You got fork in the road. And if you're wondering if you're going to have that opportunity, Pile 2, I'm telling you, yes. There's going to be an opportunity. You're going to have to make a decision, though. You're going to have the choice to go where you want to go, and you may have another opportunity that may be, quote unquote, equally as beneficial, but you're just going to have to choose if you want to be with that place that feels like home, or if you want to go somewhere else and see. I'm going to pull another one, but right now you've got message in a bottle. So, like, yeah, you're going to get another offer if you haven't already. And you're going to have to decide whether or not you're going to go. And happy, happy, happy. That is the card that came out for you. Which is funny because, the last card in each row is a really positive energy. And then at the bottom, you have never-ending story. So I'm going to tell you right now, this card came out in pile 1, so that may also be your pile, but if it's okay, if it's not, it's a whole different situation for a lot of you. So listen, if you're afraid, okay, it's two halves of you. It's two halves of you. If you have a place that you've been stuck in, you've been very fixed in, you're not progressing, but it's home, right? It's home. It's what's familiar, right? That hangman, it's what's familiar. You don't know what's out in the world and you'd rather stay. You have to go. A fork is in the road. It's time for you to take that journey to a new situation, a new place, location, a new career, a new company, whatever it is. It's time for a change for you so that you can thrive, right? You're right now, you're the hangman. You're kind of letting opportunities pass you by, because that's what the Two of Pentacles also is. It's juggling. It could be opportunities being juggled, right? Just know that you don't want to hold yourself back that way. And if it's time for you to move on, if you've stagnated in a certain role, location, place, right? If you've stagnated financially, stagnated in any way. Now, and honestly, you could resonate with both halves. The other half is, if you've been called to go, like I said, home, right? The going home, if you've been called to go home to a place that's very near, dear to your heart, if it's not your actual home, actually where you're from, the company you may have started with, just know that you should definitely do it. Like, and if you've, I don't know, I'm just getting a really strange energy of like, if you went back home and you just like, oh, I don't know why I did that. Don't do that. Like, don't give up on it. Like, it's a fork in the road. You have a decision to make, but like, never ending story is like, stick it out and just kind of allow the situation to follow through, because it is the right decision to go back home, right? Especially with that 10 of Pentacles, because that's home, that's roots. That's like the 9 of Pentacles. I say this often in my readings. It's like, when you make enough money to be self-sufficient, you have everything that you need. That 10 of Pentacles takes it another step further, and it's like the whole family is set, right? So that's like, so you've got all kinds of family energy on the table, home energy on the table. So if the situation you're currently in truly feels like home, I'm not talking about the codependency of being afraid to venture out to be successful. Two different things. If it feels like home truly, you're in the right situation. If you're being called to a feeling of home, that is where you need to go. Okay, Pile 2? That's where you need to go. So let me see what I can get from these last 2 decks. I need to just stop shuffling directly next to the stand, because like, I always end up shaking it. Let's see, Pile 2, what's next in your career? The South Node. I mean, listen, I am so glad I shuffle on camera. Y'all would just think I'm pulling cards at random. Destined to release. Right on top of the Hangman. And time to go. Ironically. So those 2 situations where, if you're codependent and afraid to venture out, or if you're called home, like there's a place that you feel called to go, that is why that South Node card is there. For both of those. I'm not going to repeat it, because I don't want to like dwell, but that card is there to reaffirm those 2 sides, or maybe you're both of them, where those 2 sides of it all. Because South Node is where you're comfortable. It's where you're familiar. It is the attributes you were born into this life to master. Like, you've already mastered. These are the skills that are going to help you get ahead, right? Whereas the North Node is how you're meant to develop, right? It's like, it's almost opposite of Pile 1. Not saying that you can't have Pile 1 too. It's just that Pile 1 is about developing, and Pile 2 is about being comfortable. So house 4, I can't make this up. I cannot make this, because this whole pile has been South Node, 4th house energy. Because 4th house, it says cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. And it is the house ruling the home. It's the sign of Cancer, the planet, quote unquote planet, the moon. It is your ancestry. It is your family ties, your roots, like your comfort, where you're comfortable. Like, so those 2 cards, like, if you're having questions about your career, go where you're comfortable, not stuck. Because there's a half of you that are just stuck. You're stuck and you're comfortable because it's familiar, and you don't want to venture out to be successful. You need to do the opposite. You need to move on. But a lot of you here are being called to a place of comfort, called to a place of home, or are feeling a pull, or are feeling a deep, healthy sense of comfort in a new place, location. And that is that affirmation that you've made the right decision, or that you are making the right decision in your career, because of that contentment that comes from the place that you've landed or will land soon. Okay. And then I saw this at the bottom when I pulled South Node. So for it to come out, and again, it's all the cards that are making the same point. Earth, right? You may be an earth sign. You may have heavy earth placements. I can feel that for you, Pile 2. It doesn't matter which earth sign. You could be Capricorn. You could be Taurus. You could be Virgo. You might be all 3, or at least 2 of the 3 in your chart, okay? But it says persistence, patience, and practicality. So just be patient with yourself as you maneuver through a situation, especially this chaos that I'm seeing that may be underlying initially, you know, especially if it requires a move. Moving is hard, it's scary sometimes, and it's chaotic. So I understand. Trust me, I understand. So, because remember, I moved twice this year, so I know how chaotic it can be. But just know that that stability that you're seeking is in that location that we talked about, that you're going to have to go. Last card is Square. And yep, just like I said, a challenging situation, a mountain to climb. So like I said, it's a work in progress. There's going to be challenges. You're going to have to do some work. I mean, we are talking about career, but at the end of the day, it's not a bad situation. You're going to be very comfortable there. With fixed at the bottom, it says stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. So your next situation, or situation you're stepping into in your career, whether we're talking about present or incoming energy, right? That home feeling, that place of, okay, if you've landed in a place that feels like home, or if you're going to the place that feels home, like you're called to it, it's the most stable work situation you've ever had and ever will have in your life. Those of you that are stuck, that's probably why you are, because it was the most, or is the most stable situation you've ever had. And that's okay, because you have another situation coming in that will be equally stable. It's just that chaos at the beginning. The idea of that is scary for a lot of you that are stuck in a situation. Like, you don't want to have to start over and give it to God and juggle a brand new situation, but that's okay. You know, beginnings are scary, but that's what you're being called to do if you have a codependency with a certain, or a toxic relationship with whatever job you currently have, right? Because like I said, two groups. Some of you that need to move on, and others of you that are feeling a pull home. So let me pull from this last deck, and we're going to wrap this up. What is that? Strength. So listen, you are strong, you are powerful, you can do this. Okay, Pile 2, you can do this. You have the capabilities. Even if you don't realize it, you 100% can do this and be successful. Why? Because the universe is doubling down on that message by giving you the card of courage, right? That's 15, 14. That may be relevant numbers, but it's also a countdown to action, a countdown to success, right? The Emperor and the Star, the 10 of Pentacles, and then you've got the new moon at 1, as we discuss a countdown, new beginnings. Strength, courage, new beginnings. I'm going to take one more, and then I'm going to take the bottom. Oh, it leapt off the table. Blessing moon. What are we just talking about? Comfort, familiar, contentment. This is everything that you wanted, Pile 2. I promise you that, especially if you're afraid to make that leap. At the bottom, expansion. Okay, so listen, the cards said it for me. I don't have to repeat myself. You have the strength, you have the courage. New beginnings are on the horizon. You will be blessed with that blessings moon, with this new beginning, okay? If it's a recent new beginning, if it's an incoming beginning, if it's something that you haven't even acknowledged that you should do yet, for some of you, I feel, that new beginning, it is the ultimate blessing for you. It's the most stable situation that you've experienced thus far. I don't want to say it ever will, because the future is ever changing, but for what you've experienced thus far, there is nothing more stable than this. Okay, so that's very, very good news, Pile 2. Very, very good news. So I hope this resonated for you. If it did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, Pile 3, if you selected this Tiger's Eye crystal, then this is your reading. We're going to start with the tarot, and then we're going to pull from 3 oracle decks to see what's next in your career. Or honestly, sometimes messages that you just need to know as it relates to your career come out as well, but we shall see. So I'm just going to jump right into the shuffle. Let's see if I Pile 3. What's next? There's one sticking out. Let's go. 3 of Pentacles. Now this is fun. If you are a people person, good for you. If you are an introvert, Pile 3, this is a lesson, okay? Because the 3 of Pentacles talks about collaboration. It's all about team building. It's all about efficiencies in transactions across teams, right? Dealing with a team, multiple teams, multiple people, different personality types, but doing so efficiently. And I'm seeing that you're going to be on a team that's very efficient if you are not already, okay? And the fact that that's a number 3 card, 3 may be symbolic for you in some way, okay? As it relates to just your life, not necessarily career, because you picked pile 3. And I got 2 cards just hanging out in my hand. So let's go. Okay, this is great. This is really great energy, pile 3, because like I said, this collaboration energy, like this is making sure that you don't have to do it alone. Like you're going to be on a team that runs so efficiently, so smoothly, that you're not going to feel like you're constantly having to work hard, that you're constantly having to know everything. Like you're going to be able to focus on whatever task you're working on, because everybody knows their role, right? Everybody knows their role, and everybody's very good and very efficient at their role. And if someone needs to step into yours while you go do something else, guess what? It's going to happen here with that card. And the 2 cards that slipped into my hand, 7 of Pentacles. That's how I know that that's what that energy is, because that leads into this receptive energy, this harvest. It shows that like the 7 of Pentacles is you receiving your harvest after a job well done, after laying the seeds, planting them, growing them, waiting, being patient, doing your part, doing your work, and seeing the benefits, the results. So this is going to be a very heavily praised, heavily successful team. Like this is a team that will reap many rewards, okay? It looks like the job will be very well paid, or is well paid as well. And then at the end, you've got the World, okay? Like completion, like this team completes itself. That is also a number 3 card, is number 21. So you've got 3, 7, 21. So that may be relevant for you. But I mean, I've never seen a team run this effectively, okay? That is your pile 3. Like right now, whatever situation you're stepping into or looking to step into, it's really efficient. It's really efficient, and there's not much that this team can't accomplish. I'm gonna stack these differently than I did in the previous piles. I don't know why, but I just will. So you've got the Chariot, which is Cancer energy, but look at that. That is like go-getter energy. Like this team is built to succeed. Judgment. That's the number 20. This team does not hesitate. Once a decision has been made, once the direction has been given, this team rolls with it and executes the most efficiently I've ever seen. Whether this is your team, because I see a lot of you, this is your team, or a team that you're on, or a team that you'll contract as an entrepreneur for your business. Like this team you're thinking about hiring, or these people that you're thinking about hiring, those of you in a position to employ other people, that thing's gonna run smooth, okay? The Tower. Yeah, this team is gonna, it's like an awakening. Like this team is gonna open up so many doors, so many things that were slipping through the cracks. This team is gonna tighten up and lock it up and seal those cracks. Like that is crazy. Like I said, I'm seeing that some of you are hiring people, like hiring teams as entrepreneurs, or maybe you're in a leadership role where you can hire an employee. But the people coming in, that's interesting that this pile took that turn. The people coming in, like they got this. It's going to be so great. Even if, like, I'm not saying it won't feel like it at the beginning, but the Tower is a bit of a shock, right? Or maybe there was a shock that led to this team being as efficient as it is with the Judgment and the Tower. Maybe someone left and someone new's coming in. I see that for some of you. If that's an issue right now, someone left and you're going to need someone else, or that someone's left and someone new just stepped in, that person's going to be very, very efficient as it relates to this team. So with that World, it's going to complete that team. So as it relates to you specifically, Pile 3, I mean, you're just on a roll. You're on a roll. Anything that like is not efficient for whatever team you're on or whatever work you're doing, you're ready to throw it out of the window, Tower. Like I feel like the energy you're stepping into is like, if it's not working, it's gone. Whether that's people, whether that's processes, you know, like you're not having it. You're not about it anymore. You're done with the BS. So that's impeccable energy for you to be stepping into. But I see you being more dominant. I see you being more vocal, right? Especially if you're introverted, because I got that with this 3 of Pentacles, that some of you may not be used to having to work with other people. I see you being a lot more vocal, a lot more like taking charge a lot more with that Chariot and Judgment combination, right? The Tower, you're not afraid to say things that may shake the table. So that's going to be very good for you, because the culture that you're going to be in will enable you to do that successfully, okay? You're going to be able to be your authentic self in this role that you're stepping into. And it's really going to put you on your life path, because you've got 6 cards on the table and 4 of them are major arcana out of the whole deck, right? It's like the 3 of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles are details, little details in your life and your higher purpose, right? Like this team is kind of like a detail, like it puts you where you need to be. Like you're going to receive what you need to ascend even further where you're supposed to be in this life and what you're supposed to contribute to this world. And you've got number 38, to be fair. Okay. So this is a very fair situation. If you're not used to being in a situation where you're treated appropriately, treated accordingly, where you're praised, 7 of Pentacles, for the how successful you make whatever company, or how successful you are. Like if you're not used to recognition and being properly compensated, right? So like that's also a warning that don't ask for way too much money. You're not getting more than your quote unquote worth, like what the position pays or whatever. Just know that. But you're going to be fairly compensated. You're going to be treated fairly if you're not used to that. I see an offer coming in because message in the bottle was at the bottom. Let me see what else. I got 2 cards in my hands. Flexibility. Man, no man. A lot of you here just don't know how to be flexible. I feel like every pile got a reference to be flexible. Every pile. That's funny. And then you've got here and now. So a lot of you, this is a current situation. If you weren't sure, you're not really going to go anywhere. You're just going to adapt to the current situation. It's going to work out fairly. But all of these changes, that Tower, if you're experiencing, I'm feeling like you may have wanted to pick pile 1. You may have wanted to pick pile 1. All the piles have similarities. So if you want to pick any other pile, just go for it. Even if that means all 3. But if there was some issues with that Tower card, the Judgment in the beginning, or prior to now, just know that it's going to be resolved. There's going to be some fairness coming in soon. At the bottom, you got Between Worlds, so it confirms that message. And the number 3 is definitely relevant for you, because that's the last card in this deck. The first card that opens and the last card of the second set are both 3. Right, but it's showing Between Worlds, right? So especially if you the situation you stepped into was dark, right? Just know that you're going to be stepping into the light very, very soon if you've entered a situation that was dark. And what was I about to say? Oh, you probably definitely want to pick pile 1 because it has Y at the bottom and look in receptive. So number 2. So yeah, some of you are wanting to pick all 3, and that's okay. Get what you need from here. Let me see what else I can get. I got 2 more decks, and then we'll wrap this baby up. What's next in Lazulie's career? A lot of you wanted, like, I'm not getting super specific circumstances, but that makes sense because it's not like love readings, like career. There's so many different jobs that people could be doing. There's only so many combinations of experiences people have in relationships, because, you know, same old, same old. I know that sounds bad and it may not be completely true. It may be a half true, but like as it relates to career, there's just so many possibilities that could be happening. But I do feel like you're going to get what you need from this reading. So many cards came out, and I'm just going to go ahead and take them. Okay, so we got Cancer. I don't remember what Judgment is. The World is practically everything. I don't remember what the Tower is. I'm doing bad today, y'all. Just bear with me. Neptune. Okay, so we've got Pisces about to be laid on the table, and we've got Taurus. So let me get myself together. So I've got Taurus here at the bottom, and I'll read it. Trust, patience, instability, and definitely, because underneath that is Earth, which is persistence, patience, and practicality. So Earth and Taurus. The 3 cards that came out, you've got House 12. It's spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. So there may be heavy house 12 themes, and I'm pausing because if I'm not mistaken, this Judgment card is ruled by Pisces. It's coming to me. Look that up. Make sure I'm not making that lie up. But I feel like Judgment is ruled by Pisces. But you've got 3 right here, 3 of Pentacles, 3 between worlds. You've got 21, right? And then you've got the reverse of 21, which is 12. So those are all number 3 cards. And I know I'm like messing up the table, but you need to see the point. That's like 1, 2, 3, right? It's very relevant for you in your life for whatever reason. Pile 3, okay? But yeah, 12th house themes. You may be a very deeply spiritual person. Your next steps in your career may actually involve spirituality. It may involve dreams, sleep, healing. What else? The 12th house rules prison, right? Imprisonment, something regarding that, regarding feeling stuck and trapped. What else does the 12th house rule? It rules mental health to some degree, right? Things of that nature. So, and then you've got Yang, which is very active energy in that direction, very active energy. And flexibility talks about health as well. So it could be health-based because it's the opposite house of the 6th house, which is Virgo, that rules your health and wellness. So just remember that very active energy may involve fitness. But the Yang card says proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. And it has... is that Aries, Gemini, Leo, that is Libra, Sagittarius, Aquarius. So those are other signs. But heavy Pisces energy because, again, I think Judgment, I know 12th house, and we have Neptune. Dream and transcend. So definitely could be involved with sleep, dreams, fantasy-based things. And fantasy associates with like your mentality, your mental health, your sight, but your ability to interpret things, interpret your experiences. So some of you may also, those of you where it's not related to the work, it means that you're stepping into a situation that maybe you glamorized. You thought it would be, you're not seeing things clearly. You kind of, you had high expectations, and maybe you're coming down to earth in that earth and Taurus energy, and it's stabilizing. But the good news is that in that stability, Taurus rules the 2nd house. That's 2nd house of like assets, that's money, that's stability. So this situation's fine. It's just, it's not what you expected, and that's okay, especially with between worlds. It's not what you expected, but it's what you need. And it's also showing me that if you between worlds in the beginning, in that dark cloudy space, that is that first part of that card, maybe that foggy dream like confusion of that Pisces, Neptune, 12th house energy, that confusion, you're going to be stepping out of that very, very soon if you're in it. And if you experience it at the beginning of your next phase of your career, it's temporary. It's just until you find your footing in that Earth and Taurus card, okay? A lot of you, this is present energy. And I'm saying that for all piles. A lot of you, it's like you're looking what's next in your career, but it's really not what's next. It's like you're looking for confirmation relating to what you're currently experiencing. And like, I don't know if it's like, should I stay, should I go, should I be moving on? But yeah, and definitely heavy Taurus energy here. So heavy Pisces, heavy Taurus, because right here we've got that. And we also got the Lover. So some of you, I don't want to say it like that, I know, and it's not, maybe that's what you can't see clearly, because that would not focus, right? Taurus 38, the Lover. Okay, so I don't know what that pause was. That was just me, like, sometimes I do that when I'm channeling energy. It's feeling like some of you may have unexpectedly encountered somebody that you could be with on a romantic level in the workplace. Or like you feel like your career may lead you there. Like you're trying to go to a location where you feel like you're going to meet somebody or something like that. That's interesting. But I'm very curious. Like, I'm wondering if it's just there to double down on that Taurus energy. Some of you may be Tauruses and you wanted to make sure this was your pile. But that lover energy, I can't really ignore it. You have corn, moon, abundance. Ooh, listen. I said it in pile 2. I'm going to say it again. Don't forget to tip me. Because look at that. That's harvest energy right there. You got harvest energy here. You're harvesting corn abundance. Don't forget to tip me. I was playing at first, but I'm kind of serious now. Do not forget to tip me, because you're coming into money. Like, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Let me see what else is coming in your career. And it may be related to this person. Capricorn, the achiever. So you got all kinds of earth, but again, Taurus and Capricorn. Taurus primarily. So you may be a Taurus or Capricorn placement. Some of you, let me see if I can get this to focus. The achiever. So you're going to be very successful if you're not already, or if you don't feel successful, you're going to feel very soon that success. You're going to get the recognition that makes you feel that. And then you have Cancer, which is the nurturer. So if you're not getting what you need, you will very soon. And just know that even if you don't feel like you're doing enough, you are. You're doing exactly what you need to do. And this next career is going to do that. Some of you are in the medical profession with that nurturer and all of this 12th house themes. It's probably like mental health professionals, like therapists and like counselors and such. Just know that the work you do matters, and you're going to be compensated, very successful as it relates to this field. Very specific message for some of you. A lot of you, if what you have relates to food, like if it is like, because corn it is a food, like if it's like nutrition or something like that, just know that you're going to be very successful. Or if you're a gardener, like a farmer, things like that, you're going to be very successful at it. Let's see what else I can see before I wrap it up. I'm seeing law, like criminal justice. Just know that you're going to be very successful. This is the only pile where I got like very specific career paths. That's interesting. I'm wondering why. If you want to throw your career away, Tower, to be a stay-at-home parent in that Cancer card, you're going to have that opportunity to do that. You don't have to worry about your family. That corn moon shows that you're going to be financially stable enough to do that with Earth and Taurus energy as well. If you've already kind of made that decision between worlds, this is your confirmation. I didn't get this in the other piles, but that's okay. It's okay. This is way shorter than the other two piles, and it's funny because I thought that I was going to want to do this before I even started these readings. I was like, if something pops up, I'm going to have to grab a love deck, but let me get this love deck. It's not that far from me. I literally have it in my hand now. So pile 3, because you had this random lover pop up, like the card, I get it, it's cards, but I just want to make sure. I want to make sure. And I know y'all like these love readings, so let me see what that is. Let me see what that is. I'm gonna pull a card to see what that is. That lover energy, just to make sure that you don't have a person. Because I mean, if it's related to your career, we need to know. Ooh, I said 1, but I have 1, 2 at the bottom. So listen. The first one that came out is courting. Okay, this period of development towards a romantic relationship is important. This time will help you both see if marriage is in the cards. And I feel like one of the other piles, probably pile 1, talked a lot about development. So that word being on this card is standing out to me. So maybe you picked that pile, and I think I said that. But let's not cover it. This, I feel like, and then at the bottom is communication. The letter C may be important, right? Okay, a conversation is on the horizon. Someone is planning to reach out. Be ready to express yourself. Okay, some of you know exactly what this is. You know what this is. But yeah, I mean, courting, communication, it's like there's someone you've talked to or made contact with that could really help you in your career. Like it's gonna make you feel happy, but like I feel like there's something maybe that between worlds that, to be fair, is giving Libra scales energy, like two halves of a whole, like balance. Like you bring to the table what the other needs and vice versa. So you may start a business together. But like you have magnetic souls, your sacred souls are instantly drawn to each other. So this could be a lover turn. This could be a business partner turned lover, or vice versa, like, or just a lover that would make an impeccable business partner for you, because that is what we got from the Lovers card. So yeah, so that energy of those cards, however it resonates for you, I just felt like I needed to pull because that energy showed up on the table, and I didn't want y'all to be in the comments like, why didn't you check? You know, because you do know, y'all love readings. Y'all do, okay? And that's okay. I don't mind it. It's just sometimes we want to do readings like this one, the career one. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to leave it how it is. So hopefully it resonated, Pile 3. If it did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.